is up? What's up? What's up, everybody? Thank you guys so much for joining me for another episode of Heat Live. I'm really excited to be here today. We're celebrating a few things today. First off, let me just wish you all a happy Pie Day, whether you're eating pizza, apple, what other kind of pies are there? I don't know. Whatever kind of pie you're eating, I hope you're having a good Pie Day. And then, as I'm sure you could tell by the announcement, by the title, it is March Madness here at Heat Press Nation. And I'm very excited because we're gonna be doing some really, really cool stuff today. But before we get going, I'm gonna tell you guys right out of the gate, look up here. If this is your first time watching Heat Press Nation live, we have a flash sale every week. Now we call it a flash sale because it's over in a flash, which means that this code right here, it's gonna get you 10% off of all sublimation supplies. So if you head on over to heatpressnation.com, under supplies, you're gonna see a few additional categories. You're gonna go to sublimation supplies, and you can get 10% off that whole section. And if you just want the fast way to get there, it's heat.press/subsupplies. Once again, heat.press/subsupplies. That's where you can go to see all of our sublimation supplies, not blanks, supplies. And you can use the code supplies to get 10% off all sublimation supplies. This code is valid while we're live today. So as soon as this broadcast is over, in about, I don't know, 40-ish minutes or so, 30, 40 minutes or so, you have about that much time, because once we're off the air, the code is kaput. So check that out. Also, we are gonna have a giveaway at the end of this broadcast. So make sure you stick around. We're gonna do some demos. We're gonna run a really cool something for you guys today. We're actually gonna try to determine the most essential supply item. Now, before I go any further, we want to check in with you guys. So if you have any questions at all, if you want to comment, if you want to just say what's up, drop it in the comments below, whether you're watching on Facebook or YouTube. And as you guys know, I got my pal Christopher here. What's up, Chris? How you doing, man?
Hey guys, how's it going, Jared?
Going good, going good. Is anybody sounding off in the comments today?
Yeah, so we have Dolores from Texas, Tracy from Cold, Michigan.
Ooh, Cold, Michigan. Doesn't sound nice.
Doesn't. It's actually raining today outside.
Oh, I know. I hate it.
I hate it as well. Tanya, how's it going? Ronald, how's it going?
Up?
Jacqueline Hernandez, she says she needs ink.
Ink? Okay, well, unfortunately, that's not covered under the supplies code, but you could still get it with free shipping. heatpressnation.com.
Okay,
Who else is saying what's up?
From Minnesota.
Another cold. All you coldies, you guys are watching because you're probably snowed in, I would guess.
Probably. Yeah. So we have Adriana from Chicago. A lot of people from the East actually today.
East, all right, everybody. All you guys are snowed in. Wishing you guys the best. Here in Southern California, we actually had in the mountains, because we have everything here in Southern California, right? We got mountains, deserts, beaches, forests. What else? I don't know. Whatever else we have. Anyways, we actually had blizzard warnings out here. And get this, a couple of weeks ago, we had snow in Orange County. If you don't know where Orange County is, just look up Disneyland. We're only about 10 minutes away. We had snow, which honestly is probably the wildest weather thing that's happened out here. And we got like probably not even a 1/10 of an inch of snow. And dude, everybody was losing their minds. So you guys who are getting like inches and feet of snow, like, hey, please be safe out there, you guys. But yeah, so we're really excited today. We're doing a few things. We're going to have a bracket today. Yes, it's March Madness, so you know we had to set up a bracket of our own. We're actually gonna be putting supply items head to head today to see who's gonna win, who's gonna come out on top. Chris is gonna be running our bracket in just a little bit, but before we get there, we are going to demonstrate all of our sublimation supply items. Well, I should say our top 8, because you know, you can't fit them all. We had to narrow down our bracket for time, by the way. And by the way, right here, you guys see this code? Use the code SUPPLIES to get 10% off of the sublimation supplies. You can go to heat.press/subsupplies, or if you're already on the website, go under where it says supplies, and then under supplies, go to sublimation supplies. Be quiet, Siri. Watch your mouth. Oh, no, I'm just messing around. By the way, okay, if you haven't yet entered the HPN sweepstakes that's running right now, You want to get on over there. For more details, you could go to our Instagram page to find that out. You're going to see it. We're going to be promoting it as much as possible. I believe there's a link on Facebook, but I'll get corrected if I'm wrong in just a moment. But yeah, you can head on over to our Instagram for sure and get info on how you can enter. It's a huge giveaway. We're giving away a Sawgrass printer. We're giving away 2 heat presses. For all the details, and if you don't feel like going through Instagram, you can head on over to heat.press/sweepstakes. Again, that's heat.press/sweepstakes. And it's free to enter. It is open to US only, but yeah, free to enter. Again, Sawgrass printer, mug press, regular heat press. In fact, the heat press is going to be this one. It's going to be this 12 by 15 inch Craft Pro, which puts in work, as you're going to see in just a few minutes. So yeah, make sure you check that out. That's a separate giveaway. Again, heat.press/sweepstakes for more information on that. Today, while we're live, we're going to be giving away a different prize, which is really fun. So be sure to stick around to the end of the episode for information on how you could win today's prize. And if you want the big grand prize, which is different, head on over to heat.press/sweepstakes. I hope I didn't confuse anybody with all that there. And then one more time before we get into our demos, this code, I'm gonna be shouting it out throughout this entire episode, 10% off of Sublimation supplies. You can go to heat.press/subsupplies for more info. All right, I know you guys wanna get into some demos. I personally would like to get into some demos, not demons, not demons.
Never that.
Never that, right?
Demons.
No, I wanna get into some demos right now. So Chris, tell us what we're working with today, man.
So today we actually have 2 items that we're going to be using with all of these sublimation supplies.
Yes, sir.
We have our glass ornaments right over here.
Oh, ceramic, sorry.
Ceramic ornaments.
The glass ones were for the other one we're doing.
And these are double-sided.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So we have these right over here. I will have to figure out how to take these out of the bag. Here it is.
Oh yeah. These come, by the way, these come in like 100 to a case, so.
Nice. Got a
They're very
glossy
cool.
look to it, right?
Yeah, we have some finished ones right over there.
These are the finished ones. This is going to be the end product today. Oh, actually, we'll do this one because you call it full radius.
Radius wrap.
A radius wrap.
Yeah.
Right? Okay.
It's where like the graphic kind of goes around the edge a little bit. Not fully around the edge.
Yeah.
Because you can see the white line, but you know, it curves around a little bit. So when you're looking at it straight on, looks really dope.
Okay. And then we have Sublimation t-shirts that we're just going to be making.
Yes. Dude, super, super cool.
Yeah.
All right, real quick for everybody who's just tuning in, I do want to remind you of a few things before we dive back into our demos. First of all, this code, 10% off of supplies, Sublimation supplies, using the code supplies. Second thing, you guys, heat.press/sweepstakes. Oh my gosh, heat.press/sweepstakes. Please, head on over there after this broadcast. No rush. You can find the details on when the contest is ending. Chris, off the top of your head, do you know when it ends?
Off the top of my head, this Friday?
Does it?
So.
I think so.
It could be, yeah.
We have so many transfers that we're testing out. It's like my brain can only handle so much heat press information. But the contest ends, there we go. The contest ends March 17th. Oh, it is this Friday.
This Friday, let's go.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
All right, Chris, all right.
So I think it ends the entries end at 12, and then you're picking the winner and announcing that one.
Oh, that's a very tight window.
Yeah.
Nice. You guys heard it from the man. Make sure you get your entries in before then. Again, heat.press/sweepstakes. There are chances and opportunities for multiple entries. If you want information on that, you got to head over heat.press/sweepstakes for more information. It's a dope prize. You're going to get a Sawgrass printer. You're going to get a Craft Pro heat press and a mug and tumbler press, which is pretty wild. Pretty awesome price. Honestly, you could start your whole business from there. So yeah, it's really cool. Make sure you head on over there. There was like one more thing I wanted to say. So that is like one giveaway. That's gonna be again on Friday. But today, while we are live in just about 30-ish, 40-ish minutes or so, we're gonna have a giveaway right now. Well, not right now, but in this episode, we're also giving something away today. So you have a chance to win today if you stick around to the end of the episode, and you have a chance to win on Friday if you go to heat.press/sweepstakes. So yeah, so thank you guys for joining. We're gonna do some demos, and then we are actually gonna have a bracket challenge where we vote on our most essential Sublimation supply items. So yeah, so Chris, you were telling us about the sublimation ornaments, right?
Yeah. So
Yeah, those
right
are cool.
over here. Did you want to get started with it already?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do
So I'm gonna take this whole stack
Okay.
and we're gonna like kill like a bunch of birds with one stone. So here on the bottom of my press, sorry, arm is crossing frame there. I have what we call the Nomex heat felt. So now this is a cushion, and this is how we achieve what we call a radius wrap. So if you're looking at this, right, this is a sublimation ornament, this is a ceramic ornament. When you're looking at it head on, it's completely sublimated. Now, as I turn it, you can see there's a little bit of a white stripe right up the middle. Obviously that part's not gonna be sublimated. That's okay, that's just kind of the nature of the product. But then you can see the graphic does slightly wrap around the curve. Now this is important because if you don't wrap your graphic around the curve, it's gonna look flat and then it's gonna have like a splotchy edge. It's not a desirable look. There's a few ways we can get the radius to wrap, or I should say, get it to wrap around the edge of the ornament. One way is to add a cushion. There's a few different ways you could do this. We're using the Nomex heat felt because it works best in my opinion. If you have foam, you could use the Vapor Apparel foam, which we're gonna show you in a little bit later. But that, you can only use it for so many presses. Same thing with the pressing pillows. Because these are gonna get pressed for a really long time, you want something that's gonna hold up to that, to that kind of abuse. Mr. Christopher, if you don't mind, can you cut me like 2 of those?
Yeah, of course. Could you hand me the scissors?
Oh,
Actually,
yeah,
I was
of
gonna
course.
ask. Thank you very much.
No, I'm gonna make him tear it with his teeth. Alrighty, so yeah, so basically what happens is, and you can see Chris cutting it right there, but what happens is, as you press it in, you see how it's gonna kind of sink in just a little bit. If we were only gonna do one side, we would press it face down, but since we're gonna do both sides, actually I think we're gonna show you both of them. So now here's a trick to do both sides of an ornament. Of course, and I'm gonna tear this one right here. If we just did one side of the ornament, you guys know the drill. I'm just gonna place it, actually let me do this a little bit closer to camera. I would place my ornament at the center of my print. You can see we're doing full bleed, meaning there's a little bit extra, right? A little bit extra print. We printed just a little bit beyond the edge, more than what's necessary, to make sure that the graphic extends completely edge to edge. And I would just tape that down and I'd be done with my setup. However, I wanna print both sides at one time. So what I'm gonna do is, now for this, you will need a bright light because you wanna align these 2 graphics to where they are perfectly over each other. As you can kind of see here, see how it's a little bit see-through? You can see your print. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hold this up to the light really quick here and align it so that way it's centered. There we go. All right, I'm gonna fold it. So now this is perfectly centered over this. So all I gotta do now is make sure it's right side up, of course. And now I could place an ornament right here and carefully position this right over it. 2 different ways of doing this. And of course, I have my trusty parchment paper, of course. All right. So now for this one, I'll pull this off just to show you. So if I was only doing one side, I would actually press it face down and heat this from the back so it could, because this whole thing's gonna heat up, right? And the image, because it'll still get hot, it'll kind of press from the bottom. Trust me, it works. Now for this puppy over here, it's getting pressed on both sides. So whenever you're having the heat applied from the top, you're gonna use what we call the conductive rubber. Now this is a small piece of conductive rubber that we cut from a larger piece. Totally fine. In fact, if I didn't have the Nomex heat felt, I would press it face up and put the rubber. The rubber is gonna do the same thing. It's conductive rubber, so the heat's gonna go through it, but it's gonna kind of curve around the edge of my ornament to make sure that the image kind of wraps around slightly the edge of the curve. So now I'm gonna put this on because even though the bottom's covered by the felt, the top is gonna need a little something, something. So cover it with some parchment paper. The parchment paper, of course, is gonna protect my, we're gonna put this on, and this is gonna be a long cook. I got 365 degrees on my press, 260 seconds on the clock. Now, before we move on, I do want to explain my settings really quick. For the double-sided ornament, if you go hotter, you could do it faster, but then the top of the ornament comes out more cooked than the bottom. So because we're pressing both sides at one time, we lower the temperature and extend our time. That way the cook could be a little bit more even on both the top and the bottom. And I think I am peeking on my mic. There we go. Yeah, so if you have any questions, go ahead and drop them in the comments because we got about 223 seconds left on the clock. So it's about a 4-minute press. Now, one thing you could do is you could set up multiple ornaments, of course, and then get them all done at the same time. 4 minutes is a little bit long if you're just doing one ornament, but I guess, I mean, a coffee mug takes 3 minutes, so maybe it's not that long. Alrighty. What do we got, Chris?
All right, Jared. I just found the question, but it just left me. Okay, Elsa is asking, what can we use if we don't have the conductive rubber? Because that's not really like an item that like a lot of people get, you know?
That's true.
So what could they use besides that?
That's a great point. So what I would recommend doing is get an old hoodie, put it on the bottom, so you would use that hoodie instead of the felt. Get an old hoodie, maybe fold it over so it's nice and squishy, and then you would press your ornament face down. Doing it just one side at a time or just one side only. If you're gonna press it from the top, like a double-sided ornament, you are gonna need the conductive rubber. If not, and you could experiment and see how you like it, but the top is probably not gonna wrap around the edge of your ornament. So if you want the image to wrap slightly around the edge of your ornament, you are gonna need that conductive rubber. And it's kind of the only thing that does that. You know, otherwise do one side at a time. And then, yeah, if you're doing one side at a time, you could, instead of the Nomex heat felt, use a hoodie. Just be careful with the hoodie. You're probably gonna ruin it because we're at high temperatures. We're at 360 for an extended period of time, which is why we're not using the heat foam. It's why we're not using the pillow. So, you know, for a couple, I suppose a folded hoodie would work. But if this is gonna be something you're gonna be doing a lot of, like for Christmas, you're gonna be making hundreds of custom ornaments, probably you're gonna wanna invest in the heat felt, and realistically, the rubber too.
Okay.
Alrighty, good question, great question.
Jamie is asking, wait, where was it? Where was it? It keeps leaving me. How do you deal with the half radius in tumblers? Because I know these are ornaments. So how do you deal with the half radius in tumblers?
So with tumblers, we do a double press with tumblers, and we have videos on our YouTube channel. By the way, if you're looking for tutorials, more specific tutorials on how to do them. But a tumbler, what we do is we'll of course wrap the transfer around the entire tumbler. We'll press it for about 70 seconds, rotate it 180 degrees, and then press it for another 70 seconds. And that's how we get the full bleed, full wrap on all of our tumblers, is we just double press it.
All right.
Great questions. Keep them coming. Keep them coming.
CD is asking, are both plates heated at the same time and temperature? Because you are doing both sides on one of them and then one side on the other. Oh,
that's a great question. So yeah. So both plates are not heated on this press. This is going to be a top heat only. And so the other one, so there's two here. One of these ornaments is getting pressed on both sides. The other ornament is being pressed on one side only. So the single side ornament, I'm pressing it face down. The way that works is the heat penetrates the entire ornament, and then the pressure of that ornament getting smashed into the bottom pad, that's what's gonna press that image, the sublimation transfer, into the ornament. So the heat is coming, it's actually going through the ornament, so the whole ornament is getting heated up. These are gonna be super duper hot, by the way, when they come out. I'm gonna put on my gloves because I don't feel like burning myself. Now, these gloves are kind of like for quick use. They're gonna be great for moving things from one section to another so you don't burn yourself. But as you're gonna see, like I won't be able to hold these for an extended period of time. Let's head on over to the press. I'm not gonna hold the ornaments for an extended period of time. If I was, for that, I would probably use something like a barbecue glove.
I actually
But
have a follow-up question with that one.
sure, go for it. Remove it.
So Cynthia is saying that she only has the Nomex pad and not the rubber pad. She's been afraid of breaking her ornaments, so they still sit in her craft room. Will she break them without using the rubber pad?
No, you shouldn't. If you're breaking them, it means your pressure is too high. So it's very possible to press ornaments like this with just the bottom pad. If we had time today, I would show you, but I know we have tutorials like that on our YouTube channel. So please feel free to check those out. You're gonna wanna look up Nomex Heat Felt. Nomex is spelled N-O-M-E-X, Nomex. Anyways, whenever you're doing a double-sided transfer, notice how this one is not taped in place. So I just do that. I just let it fall right out. And you can see it looks pretty darn good.
Wow.
There we go, right? It's very hot. So even though I'm wearing these gloves in a few seconds, I may have to put it down because this thing is super duper hot. But you can see how the image kind of wraps slightly around the curve just so when you're facing it, that's hot, okay. If you wanted to know how long you could hold it, just time that, all right? Yeah, so when you're facing it, it looks beautiful. You don't really see the white edge. If we didn't wrap around the edge, the image wouldn't extend and you would actually see a slight white ring or a little bit of splotchiness around the edge. Now for this one over here that we taped, see how it's pressing face down? The transfer's on the bottom, but the heat applied all the way through the ornament and the pressure of the press forcing it into this pad is what allowed the image to imprint on there. So for this, quick rip, boom. And this one has tape on it, so I don't have to burn my fingers. My little fingies. Check that out. You can see the image wraps a little bit around the edge, just enough to when you're looking at it head on, it looks fantastic. We have a really cool kind of Lucky Charms St. Patrick's Day theme going on, and if you haven't realized it yet, I'm gonna bring both of these over to Chris so he could burn his fingers on them.
Oh,
no, really don't touch them. They're very hot.
I touched this one.
Oh yeah, with the tape you can. That's pretty cool.
Sick.
Yeah, so with just these two, you guys were able to see how we use the heat tape, be careful, the parchment paper, the Nomex, the conductive rubber, and I think that's it. So that's 4 down. We actually have 4 more supply items that we're gonna demo for you today. So I'm gonna move this out of the way. Chris, you wanna show them what we're doing next?
So we have the white polyester t-shirt that we're gonna sublimate onto. And did you want to use the pressing pillow or did you want to use the...
Ooh, I'm gonna do one of each. Probably do one of each. Oh, first?
Yeah.
Let me hit that pressing pillow.
The pressing pillow it is. Here you are, sir.
Cool. So now, if you're wondering what is that for, so one of the big problems when you're sublimating onto garments is that you run into the issue of press marks. And so what a press mark is polyester garments, they're very sensitive to heat. So when you heat press it, sometimes there could be an imprint of the heat press, of the heating element left on your garment. And there's nothing you can do about it. Well, I should say, there's not nothing. Obviously, I'm gonna show you something. But what I mean by that is the heat is gonna, if your garment's scorching, it's gonna scorch. There's nothing you can do to stop that. We get lots of questions like, hey, how can I stop my press from scorching my garment? And I'm not trying to be a smart aleck, but truly the only answer is get a different garment. Because if it's scorching at sublimation temperatures, that's it. There's nothing you could do to stop the scorching. What you can do is use something like a pressing pillow to help minimize the appearance of the scorch. So you can only really mitigate the damage. You can't totally eliminate it. So now when you're using the pressing pad, you're gonna make sure that the pad, it has to be smaller than your pressing area, and it has to be bigger than your graphics. So because of that, now I wasn't thinking too clearly about my heat press today. So obviously my graphic is a little bit bigger than what we're doing today. So I'm gonna do the world's ugliest cutout. Okay, this is horrendous. Ugh. So I'm just gonna do a quick cutout of this graphic so you guys can see what I mean. I'm gonna make this a little bit more manageable here. Man, my apologies. All right, so now I have a graphic. There we go. Now I have a graphic that is bigger than rephrase this. The pillow has to be bigger than the graphic, smaller than the press. I'll say it one more time. Your pillow has to be bigger than your graphic and smaller than your press. And the way it works is you just put it right here. Now, one thing I'm not gonna do right now is, for sake of time, because we do have a lot going on today, I'm not gonna put a piece of parchment paper inside my shirt. Again, just for sake of time, got a lot going on. By the way, you have a limited amount of time right now to use this code. The code is supplies. That's gonna get you 10% off of our Sublimation supplies. So all you do is you head on over to heatpressnation.com. Under supplies, look up Sublimation supplies, and yeah, that's simple. That's simple. All those Sublimation supplies are gonna be 10% off. All right, let's head back over here really quick. Okay, so my shirt's gonna be on the pad. Now, because the pillow has rounded edges, so it's not a hard edge like this over here, which is the silicone pad, right? Not a hard edge, it's a soft rounded edge. So again, I'm not gonna completely eliminate the scorching, but what I am gonna do is just minimize the appearance of those marks. So now I gotta get a new piece of parchment paper. And again, I should be putting a piece of parchment paper inside the garment as well to prevent bleed through. I'm not doing that right now because we're limited on time. I got a lot to show you, got a lot to do today. So I'm really just showing off the pillow. I got 385 degrees on my, let's loosen up the pressure a little bit. You don't need heavy pressure. If you wanna know how much pressure to use with your pillow, the pillow should compress to about 60% of its original thickness. Anything more than that, you could damage the pillow. You don't wanna smash the pillow down. That is actually gonna ruin the pillow. 40 seconds left on the clock, and you're gonna see exactly how we get rid of press marks on the thingy, on the garment. What's wrong with my brain, Christopher?
I have no clue. My brain's not working today either.
You know what it is? It's daylight
It's the
savings.
weather. Oh,
and the weather.
Yeah.
Dang, we're under double attack today. We got that rainy weather.
The
Dude,
world's against us.
It's against us. The world wants me to take a nap, though. I'll say that.
It wants me to take a nap too. We say this every live. That's the crazy part.
You know what? It's after lunchtime, so the lunch is just kind of like flowing.
It is flowing.
And I like a little post-lunch nap. One of my best naps of all time. Oh man, story for time for later. So check it out. We're gonna open this up. We're gonna swing this away. I think God doesn't want me to talk about naps while I'm working. It's not professional. So I'm gonna remove my parchment paper. And again, this is sublimation, so I'm gonna let it cool for a quick second, but really, I'm just gonna pull that off right there. That's beautiful.
So Jared, as you're doing that, Russ was wondering if you can put the pillow inside the shirt rather than below it as well. I know I've done that.
Yeah, you definitely can. For time's sake, I just put the pillow on the shirt on top. Okay. Now, if I did put it inside, okay, so here's what happened. You probably can't see it, or maybe if I do this, you see that? There was a little bit of dye migration because I didn't put a piece of parchment paper inside the shirt. That's okay, I told you guys I wasn't gonna. But now if your pillow goes inside, you may get a little dye migration onto the pillow, which is not good because it could re-imprint on future projects. So if you do put the pillow inside, make sure you're still putting your piece of parchment paper inside. But dude, that looks great. And guess what? There's no press marks. There's no press marks on this puppy because we use the pillow. So even though there's, and I'll let you show this off, even though there is a little bit of scorching, because the pillow has a rounded edge, your eyes aren't drawn to a hard line, so you don't really see it. And that's really what's important. I'm sure if somebody, Chris, I'm sure you could find the scorch if you really put your face like 2 inches from it, but nobody's putting their face 2 inches to your shirt. So it's definitely okay in my book.
I also see the lint that was sublimated.
Oh, I forgot to.
It's okay, dude.
For time, I meant to do that actually. Because we're short on time. By the way, I keep saying we're short on time because we still have a lot to do right now. We're trying to stall a little bit because we do have this flash sale going on. So I do want you guys to have enough time to use it. You take 10% off of your sublimation supplies, and that's really, really cool. You could basically everything from the heat tape to the pillows to the foam. Can you toss me that foam real quick?
Of course.
There we go, incoming. Here we go. This is the Vapor Apparel Foam Decorating Kit. You're gonna get 10% off of this as well. Now, as you can see here, we kind of already used a little bit, right? And that's what it's meant for. What I love about the Vapor Apparel, dude,
What happened?
I just burnt myself in almost the exact same spot as last week.
Really?
Yes. Okay, by the way, I don't know if you
God.
guys can see that. That's real.
That was bad.
That was from last week,
Yeah.
and right now I just did the exact same stupid thing. But today I pulled back a little earlier.
Good.
Last week I was
Hopefully
like, and I branded myself with this puppy, but
battle scars.
yeah, just in case you guys are wondering if this is real, this is real. This is very live. If this was, there's no way I would have left that in if this wasn't live. So anyway, so really quick, I'm just gonna quickly explain the foam decorating kit. Here, I'm gonna throw this back to you, Chris. You can have that.
Thank you.
Merry Christmas. So the cool part about the foam decorating kit is that you can custom cut it to whatever size you need. You know how I was having to kind of resize my graphic because my pillow wasn't big enough? Well, what you could do is you could resize your foam. The foam is gonna work in the exact same way, but you could custom cut it to fit your platen. So I see here, I'm gonna shave a little bit off here. And it cuts great with just, as long as you have a half decent pair of scissors, it actually cuts pretty easy. Oh, sorry, wrong camera. Here we go. So you can kind of see, I'm just kind of evening it out here. So now my pad or my foam, whatever the heck it is, now it's gonna be, hand me the other transfer.
Oh, transfer first. There you go.
So now this is, right, is it? We're getting closer. But basically the foam does the exact same thing as the pillow, except you can custom cut it. And that way, if you have an image like this where you need your pillow or your soft cushion to be bigger than the graphic and smaller than the press, it's a little bit more versatile to work with. We use this foam for so many things. We use it especially on our caps. Make sure you check out our video on pressing structured caps. I'm not gonna press this for time's sake, but just so you can see it here, this pillow does the exact same thing. Now there's one more thing that we wanna show you today, and that is gonna be the Eco Mist adhesive spray. And for that, I'm gonna block Chris. You guys are not gonna see Chris. Oh, actually, no, you can still see Chris.
I'll just hide behind the box.
You can hide behind here. Here, I'm gonna scoot over a little bit. How are we gonna, there we go, to the left.
Okay.
So here's what you do. Now you're not gonna 100% see it. Maybe you will. So here's all that we're doing. Eco Mist is a specialized adhesive meant for like t-shirt pressing and printing. It's used a lot by screen printers, but we found great success with it here in Sublimation as well. Now the reason why I'm putting it in this box is because anything that this touches, oh, perfect. I forgot we had an overhead cam.
Nice.
There we go. Let me scoot it a little bit over.
I'm gonna back up so.
There we go. Perfect.
Splash soon.
Yeah, so all we're gonna do is we're gonna give it a quick shake. All of your graffiti buddies know how this goes. We're gonna give it a quick shake. You're gonna hold it about 12 inches, 10, 12 inches away from your subject. You're gonna give it 2 quick spurts and that's it. You don't wanna overspray or anything like that. The reason why we have this box set up the way we do is because anything that this adhesive touches gets sticky. So if you don't want your workspace getting sticky, just set up a little box like this, little spray station. All right, let's do this. Ready? 3, 2, 1. And that's it. It's that simple. So now the adhesive has been applied directly. I'm gonna take this over to the press.
Okay.
And we're gonna see how this works. So now, and again, I'm not gonna do all the steps on this shirt. Really, I'm just trying to prove a point here on how the Eco Mist works. That's fine. So now what we could do is if I was setting up the shirt on a different area, because it has adhesive on it, now I could move my shirt. I could do whatever I want to it. I could move it and it's gonna stay still. You see that? It's stuck. It's not super sticky, but it's stuck enough to where I could align and center my graphics on the table over there with Chris and then bring it over here and I don't have to worry about it moving. It'll stay in place, it'll stay aligned, it'll stay exactly how I need it.
Question for you,
Before we
Jared.
press, yes sir.
Cynthia is asking if it makes the t-shirt sticky afterwards or if it, after you press it down, it kind of goes away.
Yeah, so it doesn't transfer onto the garment.
Okay.
So is this big enough? No, it's not big enough. So here with the parchment paper, look at this, you guys. Oh, I don't have enough. That's funny. If you guys want to know how much parchment paper we use, that's how much parchment paper we use. It's taken us a really long time to get through that roll, by the way. Like, we've been trying to get rid of that roll for months and months and months. Okay, so I'm gonna press this. Now, I'm gonna warn you guys, this is a demonstration on how to use the Eco Mist. I can tell you right now, let me get a little bit more pressure there. A little bit more. There
While
we go.
using this Eco Mist, could you use it on any type of substrate, or like what other types of items could you?
Yeah, it's a great question. So the Eco Mist is designed for work with like fabrics and stuff and things like that. So it's gonna be great for t-shirts, for sticking things onto t-shirts that you don't want to move. We've tested it really with sublimation. And as you're gonna see right now, it's not gonna leave any adhesive on the garment itself, which is why we like it, Eco Mist adhesive. It's very commonly used on other clothing items like sublimation socks, or other items that you might be on a jig, you don't want things to move around and you don't wanna use heat tape. The other option is to use heat tape. Heat tape is not always easy to work with fabric because it doesn't stick well enough onto fabric. So you may or may not find that heat tape works for your specific application. If that's the case, I would try Eco Mist. Now, what you don't wanna do is you don't wanna go to like Home Depot, pick up some of that random 3M spray adhesive because that's not intended for garments. That's gonna make your garment sticky no matter what. So I'm gonna peel this right now. I'm gonna tell you in advance, you guys, this is not centered properly. My image is just a little bit bigger than the vapor foam that I cut out. So ignoring those mistakes, here's what's cool. This is not, there we go. The heat does loosen it, I forgot to mention that. So anyways, there we go. This feels fantastic, by the way. Obviously, I made a bunch of mistakes on this shirt. This is not an example of how to do a good shirt. We're really just showing you guys how the Eco Mist finishes on the garment. So also no press marks because we had the foam underneath.
Nice.
So
Yeah, that actually worked better than the.
yeah, I left a wrinkle in there. Obviously made some major mistakes as far as the centering and things like that are concerned. But if we're talking about no press marks from the foam, that was a success. And if we're talking about keeping the transfer in place with the Eco Mist, that's a success. And can you touch it up and
Touch it up a little bit.
is it sticky?
It's not.
It's not
It
sticky.
feels like the other shirt, yeah.
Yeah, it's not sticky. So that's the really big advantage to using Eco Mist on your garments that get heat pressed is with the heat, it just kind of releases that adhesive in it and it's all good. It's all good. So yeah, so that's really cool. Those are our demos for today. If you have any questions about anything you've seen, let us know in the comments. Now, we have a couple minutes extra here at the end of this episode for a couple reasons. The first reason is I gotta remind you of all the cool stuff. I gotta tell you to head on over to heat.press/sweepstakes because we're giving away a Sawgrass printer, a Craft Pro heat press, and a mug and tumbler press. Head on over to heat.press/sweepstakes to get more information on that. That giveaway ends on Friday at like 12 o'clock. You have until 12 o'clock Pacific time to enter that giveaway. And then at 1 o'clock, we're gonna announce the winner. So that, boom, ready to rock and roll on that one. Today, so that's Friday. Today we're having a giveaway. And make sure you stay tuned to the end of the broadcast. We got a couple minutes left here. Want to give ourselves time for that. So we have a giveaway today live. If you're watching us live, you will have an opportunity to enter and win in just a few minutes. Now, here's the fun part. We get a lot of questions like, hey, what should I be getting when I buy my sublimation setup? What's the most important thing for me to also add to the cart? You know, you're buying your sublimation printer, you're buying your heat press. What else? What other supply items should you add? And I thought a really fun way to kind of think about what's like the, most important to not as important for everybody. And of course, I should stop and say everybody has their different ideas of what's important. But in general, we're gonna run a bracket system. Yes, it's March Madness. Chris has our bracket ready to rock and roll. So we're gonna have a few head-to-head battles of different supply items, which is pretty cool. We've never done this before.
I know, I'm ready to go. Because
Let's go.
I've used a bunch of the items, but I have just seen like some of the other ones being demoed today.
Yeah.
So just imagining and thinking about what I would like prefer to use already gives me kind of a setting.
Do you have your picks?
I kind of do, but
I
we'll take
think-
a look over it and we can
Yeah,
discuss it.
I think I have my picks, but I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Let's talk about them. What's the first battle?
All right, so the first battle we have heat tape versus the conductive
Ooh,
rubber.
heat tape versus conductive rubber. Okay, doggone. Oh, that's tough. I use heat tape so much more than I use conductive rubber,
Yeah, me too.
but also the conductive rubber, I mean, there's no way to do a double-sided ornament without it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I mean, you could press one side at a time, but if you press
turn
one
it
side at
over.
a time,
It's gonna heat up.
it's gonna heat up and one side's not gonna look as good. You gotta press both sides
Yeah.
at the same time.
Okay, okay.
Oh man, that is rough. Okay, what in the you know what? Comment. Which one do you guys think should win?
I'm seeing a lot of heat tape all the way.
A lot of heat tape all the way.
Yup, that seems to be
I gotta agree.
unanimous vote.
Who are you
Heat tape.
locking in as the winner? Who do
I'm
you
locking
see?
in heat tape.
All right,
I see
heat
a
tape.
couple
Okay, let's see,
conductive
let's
rubber, so
see.
we're gonna go heat tape.
Oh man,
right.
that's sad because I do love the conductive rubber. All right. Hey, it's all business right now, right? No hard feelings if your supply item doesn't win.
It's just a better item.
It's just a better item or more commonly used.
More
I don't know.
commonly used, yeah.
What's next? What's next?
We have the Nomex heat felt or the vapor foam kit.
Oh man. See, they both serve a similar function. The Nomex heat felt is just okay. The Nomex heat felt has an advantage because it's reusable as heck.
Okay.
You're not gonna damage it. Like it's designed. I think they use it in like firefighter equipment, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
Yeah, you're not gonna mess it up. The foam comes on a fat roll because it's easy to ruin. If you
Yeah.
overpress it, it's gonna get.
Oh, I
But then
see,
you
I
just
see,
cut
I
a new
see.
piece.
That's true.
Ah.
But how? So this is like what it comes with, right?
Yeah, it actually comes with more than that. We've already used that
little
roll a
bit
little bit.
longer.
Yeah.
So how long do you think this lasts for?
Dude, I don't press as much as I used to. But I mean, okay, up here in our demo room, we've had that roll for a couple months now.
Couple months, and then
And we press a lot of different stuff.
okay. So
So-
personally, I've never used the Nomex.
This
But
felt has been with me for like 5 years now.
okay.
Yeah.
Now let's talk about the versatility because you could use this for.
Oh,
caps,
okay.
right?
It's so much more versatile by a long
So much
shot.
versatile.
Doggone.
Okay.
I think because of the versatility, I'm gonna have to say Vapor Foam Kit. But what do the comments say? What's everybody
The
saying?
foam. I'm seeing it's very 50-50. Nomex,
Oh,
foam. He felt. They're saying quality over quantity.
I mean, that's true.
Because they want the longer
Just
wear.
the long, yeah, the reusable. The only thing about the Nomex though is you can't really use it to get rid of press marks.
Okay.
Like this is for sure for like doing all your hard all your hard fragile, like your ceramic ornaments, your glass cutting boards.
Could it work for plaques too, as well?
It could, yeah, but no. Oh yeah, because with an awards plaque, even though that gets pressed from the top, the bottom you want it cushioned so it doesn't like scratch.
Okay.
So you don't want to scratch. I mean,
I see.
I don't know. Are the comments really that 50-50?
They're very
Is it
50-50.
turning?
I'm gonna have to let you decide. I don't know.
Okay, I gotta be the tiebreaker. I'm a tiebreaker. Look, just because it's more versatile, and when you're running a shop on a budget, you need your stuff to pull double duty. I'm gonna say Vapor Foam.
Vapor foam.
Vapor Foam.
got it.
Doggone. I love you, Nomex Heat Felt. I really do.
That was a close one.
That was
It
close.
really was.
Ooh, what's the next matchup? This is crazy.
Okay.
This is fun. We gotta do this more, man. I'm
Yeah, we're
pumped,
talking
dude.
about the products. We get to know
Yeah.
more.
All right,
we
what's the
have
next one?
Pressing pillows versus the Eco Spray adhesive.
Oh, okay. I have my pick.
Okay.
To me, that's an easy one, but what do you think?
This was the first time I've seen the Eco Mist
Okay,
and
okay.
actually like seen it being put to use. And I think that I would like to use that over the tape just because taping it is kind of annoying. I've seen in the comments that they get the marks, right?
Sometimes, yeah, depending on your
Sometimes,
shirt.
depending
Yep.
on the tape as well.
Depending on the
Right.
Yep. Ooh, what do the comments say?
Let's see.
You're actually turning my heart a little bit.
A little bit.
So I'm gonna be honest.
A lot of pressing pillows.
I'm leaning more press. Oh yeah.
Yeah?
I'm leaning more pressing pillows because pressing pillows to me put in more work. Now that being said, the Eco Mist when I need it, there's
Yeah.
no substitute.
Not even the tape.
There's not in the tape. So with the
Okay.
pillows, like I could use my foam if I don't have my pillows.
Okay.
But if I need the Eco Mist, if I need to stick a transfer on because I can't use heat tape, there's no substitute. So it's kind of tough. Man, I guess today I'm really leaning towards what I use more.
Okay.
So for me, it's gonna be the pillows.
pillow?
Is anybody fighting for Eco Mist in the comments? I would love to hear that.
They're saying it's not really eco-friendly, but the majority of the comments
Is it? Let me see.
is saying that it's the pillows because
this is dangerous.
I'm sure they can use the pillows a lot more. And
Yeah.
it's just more.
I don't know why they call it eco. Maybe eco for economy, because you're right. It's not quite.
But that's gotta be toxic, right?
Yeah, it's not, yeah. I wouldn't breathe it in.
Probably shouldn't breathe it in. Okay.
Don't smoke near it either, because you'll get.
All right. So the pillows.
Pillows are gonna take it.
Yeah.
All right.
Pillows.
Pillows are gonna take it. Nice.
Okay.
All right. What's next? Let's see.
Our last matchup, we have the gloves, the heat protective gloves, or the parchment paper.
Oh, okay. Look, I love the gloves just as much as anybody else, but I use parchment for every last single sublimation project.
That's true.
On the heat press. To
do
me,
need it.
parchment is one of those things where you can't sublimate without it. If you don't have gloves, get a t-shirt, use a towel.
That's
But
real.
parchment.
Yeah, or
Yeah.
like sometimes you don't even need the gloves, like with the tortilla fingers and stuff like that.
Tortilla fingers, yeah, you just
Yeah,
pull it off real
pluck
quick.
them off.
That one's kind of easy. Is anyone fighting for? I don't think anyone's gonna be fighting for gloves. No offense to the gloves. I love the gloves, but I mean, when you're up against a contender like parchment paper, like dude,
That's
like
true. It's kind of a necessity, right? Whereas gloves is
Yeah.
kind of a luxury.
yeah,
Right.
yeah. Gloves is kind of like no one was no one expects like Harvard to be really good at basketball.
Yeah.
Like they're the smart kids, you know. Like hey, nobody really expects
You're
the
right.
gloves to go far, but you know they have their purpose.
They do. They do.
All
serve
right,
their
let's lock
purpose.
it. Let's lock in parchment paper.
All right, parchment paper
As
is
the
locked
winner.
in. All right.
Dang, that's crazy, man. All
That
right.
was a good Elite Eight.
Good little,
Elite Eight
yeah,
matchup.
a good little. Okay, oh, final four. All right, let's blast this. I know you guys have, your time is valuable, and we're having a little fun here. If you want to win a prize today, stick around. We're almost done with this bracket, and then we're gonna give away something, and then we're gonna close out. Now you do have until the end of this episode to use this code. The code is supplies. It's gonna get you 10% off of all our sublimation supplies. To see the sublimation supplies section specifically, go to heatpressnation.com. Under supplies, there's a subcategory, sublimation supplies. That's the category that's on sale. I should say that's the subcategory that's on sale with this flash code, 10% off. And then if you want to win an even bigger prize, we are going to be drawing a winner for our sweepstakes on Friday. For more information on that, you can head on over to heat.press/sweepstakes. We're giving away a Sawgrass printer, I should say one grand prize consisting of a Sawgrass printer, Craft Pro heat press, Craft Pro mug and tumbler press. It's gonna be amazing. One winner, open to the US residents only, and more info, head on over to heat.press/sweepstakes. Just kidding, heat.press/sweepstakes. All right, let's look at the final four. Who's our first matchup?
Okay, we have
do this.
heat tape versus vapor foam.
Oh, that sucks. That's so hard
That's
to
a
pick.
hard one, huh?
Guy, in the comments, please let me know. I can't pick that one.
I can't either, honestly.
In the comments,
I would probably go with heat tape. I'm seeing a lot of heat tape just because
I do use it a
I'm
lot.
assuming you can use something else as the vapor foam, like you can use a pressing pillow instead of the.
Oh,
vapor
okay,
foam,
that's
right?
true.
Kind of.
Man, okay, heat tape, I will say, I can't do coffee mugs without it.
Okay, that's true.
Actually, like flat items, like you saw, I did the ornament without heat tape. It's not ideal, but you can do it. But like coffee mugs, I can't imagine doing a coffee mug without heat tape. Tumblers, you 100%. Oh, no,
100%.
can you? No,
Shrink wrap,
yeah.
where you need the tape to
Like
take
the
it down
tape, yeah,
first,
tape has to hold it, yeah.
So the majority of the chat is saying heat tape.
Heat tape, okay, let's go
Yeah.
with the chat on this one.
Let's
Heat
go with
tape.
the heat tape.
Let's lock that in. All right, ooh, who's our other big battle?
We have the pressing pillows versus parchment, and this one is an easy parchment for me.
Easy for you?
I'm not gonna lie, it's an easy parchment.
Yeah,
you kind of
dude.
need it, right? Like,
Parchment's kind of the contender here, man.
you don't want to
like,
burn any of your transfers.
It's like Kobe. It's like if we had Kobe Bryant up in here. Like, who do you want on your team at all times? You want Kobe?
I need Kobe and Shaq, and for me, that's the heat tape and the parchment, which is
You know what? That's kind of true. Parchment. Is anyone defending? What was the other one? Parchment versus what? See, I don't even
It was
remember.
parchment versus parchment pillows. It's the parchment versus the pressing.
Is anyone
pillows.
defending pillows in the chat? Like,
I see a couple pillows, but the majority are saying the parchment paper.
it's parchment. It's parchment. All right. Dang, that brings us to our final round, man. Thank you guys so much for playing along. This is wild. In my heart, I have a feeling I know where this is gonna go. We're gonna let the chat decide the final winner. So tell us who it is. Who are we looking at?
All right, we have heat tape versus parchment.
Oh, that is so tough.
All right, I'm seeing a lot of tape. A lot of parchment, actually. It's turning.
Is that YouTube or Facebook?
This is on YouTube.
Ooh, I wonder what Facebook is saying.
Let's check in with the Facebook.
The Facebookers.
Let's see.
The Facebookies. Oh, wait, I have my... No, do I want to check on the
Do you
comments?
have it on there?
I don't know where my phone's at. All right, you guys, do me a favor. Sound off in the comments who you think should win right now. It's the final battle. It's heat tape versus parchment paper. And okay, I guess I'm going to give my case for both.
Yeah.
The truth is, because I do a lot of coffee mugs, I do use heat tape a ton. And I guess the funny thing is I don't use parchment paper with my coffee mugs. Now, once we step a little bit away from the mugs, for tumblers, heat tape all the way, no parchment. Now, for every last doggone thing I ever do on this heat press, which is the flat press, parchment all the way, not necessarily heat tape. Like I don't use heat tape for my t-shirts. I don't use it for my socks usually. But I do use parchment for all those things. So yeah, sound off in the comments. I'm not gonna choose this winner. I'm gonna let the people choose today.
Okay.
What are the people saying, Christopher? What are they saying?
So I believe on Facebook, the majority is saying parchment paper, whereas YouTube, it's 50-50. So
Oh, that's wild. Okay.
I will have to go with parchment paper.
You're the judge. You're the bracket judge.
I pick parchment paper.
All right. Well,
Yeah.
it looks like we have our winner today. Parchment paper has beaten the rest out of a crew of 8. We were able to narrow it down to, this is my last piece of parchment paper. I got to get a new roll today. But yeah, parchment paper. Who would have thought? I guess it makes sense because, you use it for every doggone thing.
They're saying is better for protection rather than the tape. You use it only for certain
Oh,
items.
that's true.
right?
That makes a lot of sense. Yeah. Dang. Well, props to parchment paper. If you're looking for parchment paper or any of the other supply items that were in our March Madness bracket challenge today, you can head on over to heat.press/sub supplies. All these are going to be found in our Sublimation supply section, which is on sale for a few more minutes if you use the code SUPPLIES. Once again, supplies, that's going to get you 10% off of our Sublimation supplies. Again, the parchment, the heat tape, what else do we have? We have the foam, the pillows, the conductive rubber, the Nomex heat foul. There's 2 more that are slipping my mind. The Eco Mist spray, did I say that? And the gloves. And the gloves. All of those and more are available over at heat.press/sub supplies. One more time, I'm gonna tell you guys, you see this code right here, top right of your corner. This code is kaput as soon as we are off the air. So you got about another 5-ish minutes or so to complete your orders, get that discount right there. All right, I said we had a giveaway today and I was not lying. Or was I? Nah, I wasn't lying.
No, you weren't.
I was thinking about it.
There's a lot of giveaways.
Yeah. All right. So really quick, we usually have a hashtag to share, but today we're just for the heck of it, we're going back to our Fast Fingers challenge. So here's what you're gonna do. The first person to correctly give me the retail price of the conductive rubber, the 1/8 inch thick, 14-inch by 16-inch piece of conductive rubber. First person to comment the correct retail price on Facebook or YouTube. Computer is gonna bleep, bleep, bleep the answer for me right now. But first person to correctly answer that is gonna be our winner. Now, once again, I do wanna tell you guys, it's the first person overall, not all the comments, they don't load on everybody's screen the same. Depending on your internet connection, the comments may appear in a different order for different people. So we're going off the order that we see here on our side. Our computer's gonna help filter that out. And so yeah, go for it. I'm gonna need the retail price of the Geonite Green Heat Conductive Rubber, the 1/8 inch thick sheet that measures 14 inches by 16 inches. First person to comment that price. And then the computer's gonna do a little bleep, bloop, bleep, bloop.
Bloop, 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 bloop.
Bleep, bloop, 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 bloop. And I know there's a little bit of delay before we get you guys' responses. So yeah, first comment, as soon as it comes up, it's gonna pop up on the screen. You are gonna be our winner, whoever that first commenter is. And yeah, really quick, the sweepstakes. It's our biggest sweepstakes ever. The sweepstakes, by the way, is gonna close on Friday. You have until Friday at 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, or no, now we're in daylight time, Pacific Daylight Time. Anyways, you have until lunchtime over here to enter on Friday. We're gonna draw a winner on Friday at 1 o'clock. So you have until then to enter. You're gonna be winning a 12 by 15 inch Craft Pro in mint. You're gonna be getting the Craft Pro mug and tumbler press in mint. And you're also gonna be winning a Sawgrass SG500 sublimation printer, not in mint. It doesn't come in mint. But yeah, that is an amazing prize. Honestly, you can get your business started with that. There's so many cool things that you could do with that. It looks like the Bleep Bloop has selected a winner. Our winner is Blue Bungalow Crafts on YouTube. Congratulations, Blue Bungalow Crafts. Do me a favor, shoot me an email at winner@heatpressnation.com. Once again, that's winner, WINNER, at heatpressnation.com. To everybody who didn't win, don't worry. You have a chance to win this grand prize on Friday. Head on over to heat.press/sweepstakes for more info on how to enter and how to have multiple entries. Chris, do you have anything you want to share with the people before we go?
I just wanted to let them know that they can have multiple entries into the sweepstakes. Like if they follow us on
perfect.
Spotify, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, those are all separate entries.
Oh, so if I follow on YouTube, that's one entry, and then if I follow on Spotify, it's another one?
Exactly.
Oh, that's so people could have up to like 4+ entries or so?
Something like that. There's a link on heat.press/sweepstakes and they can fill out all the entries over there.
Beautiful, beautiful. All right, well, man, I had a blast today with our March Madness bracket. We have more fun next week. So next week, we're gonna have more flash discounts. We're gonna have more giveaways, and we're gonna have some more tutorials and different stuff. There's gonna be more Christopher and more Jared. So we'll see you guys next week. Adios.
Adios.